Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the latest episode of Supernatural, Scoobynatural. And this was a very good crossover episode. They did a nice job of integrating Supernatural stuff into Scooby-Doo, and vice versa. We also got some movement on what was going on in the overall arching plot, and I thought this was a good Monster of the Week kind of episode, and I almost was hesitant about it because I felt like it could have been a jump the shark moment, but thankfully enough, this was a very well done, kind of well crafted episode. So it starts off, and we essentially see Sam and Dean fighting a plushy dinosaur, kind of a mix between Godzilla and Reptar, and it's kind of kicking their asses a little bit. So they're pretty much getting into a fight, and they pretty much douse it in holy oil and light it on fire as it explodes. And it's in a pawn shop, and the dude's like, "Thank you for saving me, holy crap!" And then this guy from next door comes in and is like, "What's kind of going on over here and everything?" And of course, the pawn shop dude introduces him. He's the dude that's got most of the real estate around the area, and that he just wants to thank Sam and Dean and pretty much lets them have the pick of whatever's going on. Now, while they were getting into that, Sam and Dean were like, "What's going on here? We killed Barney. What the hell?" And they're trying to figure out, it's like, is it a cursed object or something? What's going on with this? Like, whatever. And of course, Sam's like, "Oh, we don't need anything from here," because he was going to let him have the pick of the shop. And he's like, "Anything?" And of course, he leaves with a flat screen television. He's like, Hold on. She's very delicate and everything." And he's like, "What the hell?" So we get back to the bunker, and of course, Sam is trying to research what's going on, and Dean's just like, "Let it go." I'm like, oh God, a Frozen reference? Okay. But see, it works with Dean because usually he's so out of date with these references, and even Sam's like, "Really? Elsa Frozen?" Or he's like, "Come on, I got something to show you." And we see that Dean has made his Dean cave. He's got his alcohol, he's got his foosball table, he's got his recliners and everything, he's got the TV set. He's like, "Yeah, I want you to be here when I do it." And they turn it on, and we see the same purple glow that was kind of around with the dinosaur. And they get sucked into the TV. And they get sucked into an episode of Scooby-Doo. And seeing their reaction, like, "Oh my God, we're animated. Oh God." And it also brought in the Impala. He's like, "Don't question these things." And they kind of drive, and they figure out, they pull up to the malt shop. It's like, "Malt shop team, really?" It's like, "Listen, we need to figure out what's going on." And they pull up, and there's the Mystery Machine. And this is Dean's Geek Out episode. And it makes sense that Scooby-Doo would be his favorite TV show. They deal with supernatural elements all the time and mysteries and everything, and his dad could leave them in the hotel rooms and watch this kind of stuff on the TV, because it's like, who wouldn't be running reruns of Scooby-Doo at that point? And he's like, "Oh my God, there they are." And of course, I'm like, all right, this is probably, since we're in the episode, we got to interact with them and everything. And of course, seeing Dean trying to get with Daphne was pretty funny. I almost thought that it was taken a little bit too far to an extent, into where it's just like, okay, he's doing this again. Mainly that it just got worn out a little bit. And then we get to them just kind of like getting together. We see Dean trying to put the moves on Daphne, but of course, she's with Fred. They're all like, "Yeah, you guys can join us and all that." We've seen them like getting their milkshakes and everything, getting all their food. And oh, this old guy that we had helped with a case has died and left his inheritance to Scooby. And Dean knows the exact episode. Like, "Listen, we gotta play this out, see what's going on." He's like, "Hey, can we join you guys and all that?" And like, "Yeah, sure, just follow us there and all that." And then, of course, Dean tries to race the Mystery Machine with Baby. Now, granted, Baby would whoop that thing. Okay? But see, they are in Scooby-Doo. They got home court advantage. And, of course, the Mystery Machine leaves them in the dust. And then, as they're going off to the mansion and all that, we see this figure come out. And, of course, we find out later that it's Cass. But I like that they kept to doing the Scooby-Doo kind of stuff. Like, there's a figure that we don't know. But, of course, we kind of know that kind of stuff. They get in, they find out that there's all these other people involved, that the $1 million are going to be split all these ways. They've got to just stay in the haunted house, and who's ever left gets the money. So, okay, all right. And of course, Dean tried to bunk up with Daphne. She shuts him down. He's like, oh, come on, guys. And they get set up. Dean's wearing like a Sam calls it a nightgown. He's like, no, it's a sleep robe. It's very freeing, and he really likes it. And he's like, listen, all we gotta do is wait it out. There'll be a body dummy for the one dude that's dead. It's fine. But then we see the actual ghost appear, having the same kind of purplish aura. And it gets its first victim. And then, of course, everybody's, oh, God! They rush in, and it's like, oh, Sam's freaking out, like, dude, Dean, this guy is dead. Like, dead. This is blood. I love that Sam's... It shows the differences of Sam and Dean, of how Sam is going all logically on this and all that, and seeing Velma kind of at first, like, going, what's with that dude and his broad, wide shoulders and all that kind of stuff, and seeing Velma kind of getting the hots for Sam was kind of funny, because they get all into the mystery at that point, and they're like, alright, yeah, let's try and figure out what's going on here. And, of course, that leads to them kind of like splitting up to try and figure out what's going on. Of course, Velma goes with Sam. And, well, that's a little bit later. They're trying to go around and figure out everything, and they get chased around by the ghost. And that's when Castiel comes into the effect, smashing and throwing and like, listen, I saw you guys. And we get some movement on the whole Apocalypse World front. Castiel had evidently come back from Sirius, and I got the fruit from the Tree of Life. It was guarded by Jinn. I had to fight some of them, but then work out a treaty thing. I think I'm married to their queen. That was pretty funny. I'm like, yeah, that's Cass. That's usually the stuff that would happen. And he's like, what the hell? And he gets sucked in the TV. Granted, the fruit is still in the bunker, so I'm like, there's going to be some problems with that. I'm like, oh, okay, got that. All right, cool, moving on. And that's how the pairing kind of gets him back into there. We see him usually paired up now with Shaggy and Scooby, which is pretty cool because he's the kind of odd man out to a degree usually, which is usually what Shaggy and Scooby kind of do. As we see, like, Daphne and Fred going off on their own, and then, of course, because Sam and Velma going on theirs. And it was kind of cool because it didn't seem that, like, the whole Velma thing was really forced. That's what I really liked about what was going on with the whole Scooby part of the episode. All the characters acted like they did usually. Fred was his usual stand-up kind of guy, kind of self. And, of course, Dean, since they play similar roles in their show, of course, Dean doesn't really like him. He's like an ascot wearing dip. Frickin' Daphne can always do better since he's usually the dude that gets the hot, gets all the chicks, too. And it would work very well, but, of course, he couldn't get Daphne. So they're splitting up, kind of looking everywhere. Sam and Velma go into one room and up in the attic, and they see Sam's trying to get her to realize that there is an actual supernatural event going on, not their usual stuff with like real estate developers trying to swindle people out of real estate. And they get to this door. I was like, oh yeah, there's a reason they look like, yeah, there's ectoplasm on this, and then they start levitating and flying at them, and they do get to a point where the ghost starts fighting them, and people start getting hurt as well. Fred gets knocked into a corner. He's like, I'm bleeding. Shaggy gets kind of knocked out of a window and everything and falls down on the ground and breaks his arm. And at first they're trying to do it like the regular kind of mystery, and Velma's of course going through the same stuff like, oh, there's a trap door, all this kind of stuff. No problem, all that. And as they're going through, they're learning that it's not. And, of course, when they lay down the bombshell of everything, the Scooby Gang reacts how you would think. Shaggy's freaked out. He's like, I broke my arm. And he even references that he fell out of a biplane in a museum and didn't get hurt. They know that this isn't following the rules that they are normally applied with. And it was really cool. Fred's freaking out. Daphne's like, oh my god. If ghosts are real, that means there's an afterlife. There's a heaven and there's a hell. Holy crap. Velma's trying to wrap her head around the intelligent repercussions of it. I was like, oh my god. And it was just really well done. I was like, listen, It's alright, calm down. Got stuff in the trunk. And then, of course, it was really good to see the supernatural way, like going, alright, shotgun and everything, we need iron and all that, and they set up this elaborate trap. Of course, Fred is still going off the assumption that it could go through and coconuts will take it out. And, of course, Sam's like, coconuts, where do you get? Not matter. It's not going to work anyway. Of course, Scooby, Shaggy, and Castiel are the ones that are thrown into the washing machine that they were going to wrap with iron chains. Which, for the record, is not a bad idea. Getting the ghost in there this way, however, was the bad part of the idea. So, he's like, listen, go to plan B already! And they pretty much herded it into the library where they had previously found a trapdoor, and they have it go down the trapdoor into a ring of salt. That's where we then find out that it is a child spirit, and that this person, the Jerry dude, that had been the real estate person that was trying to take over all the rest of the places like the pawn shop, has been using this pocket knife that this boy was attached to. He, of course, couldn't let go, but he wanted to see his dad again. He was using it as pretty much a person to scare people away and kill people to get property and everything. That's why he's been murdering the rest of the people in in the whole Scooby episode. It's like, holy crap, because the one dude who's usually behind it was like violently murdered. Like, he was in 3 pieces. I'm like, shit. Okay. So, they were able to talk with the kid and be like, listen, we'll get you out of here, we'll save you and everything and all that. We just gotta do something. They were able to pretty much say, listen, we were wrong. They pretty much got the facade back to the Scooby game. I was like, alright, cool. And as they're kind of like getting out and away, Velma lays a kiss on Sam, which was actually pretty cool. And they pretty much say their goodbyes and all that and get back out of the TV. Of course, Dean then smashes open the TV, gets the pocket knife, and they of course burn it to set the boy free. Now, I think that they're a little bit too lenient on the dude, because if I found out that there's a dude using a child spirit like this, I'm taking him out. Because they essentially go back to the pawn shop before the dude is able to sign over his property, lay down everything, and we get our Scooby moment in the supernatural world, which was actually pretty well done. We see even Dean wearing an ascot. That was pretty funny. And they lay out everything, get him for the taxes and all that, because they hacked into his bank financials to figure it out. The cops get in, he's going, I would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for those meddling kids. And Dean's just freaking geeking out, does the Scooby-Doo thing, but of course it zoomed in on him, and Cass and Sam are just like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, whatever. He's like, you're not a talking dog, Dean. And that was Cass saying that. I'm like, Cass got the sass for that one, and they just, that's pretty much where the episode ended, and I think they did a good job. The only thing was, like, Dean trying to get on Daphne just ran a little bit too long. I didn't hate that aspect. I'm just like, okay, got it. I really would have liked more time put into, like, the Scooby Gang, maybe coming to terms with what was going on and seeing if they'd, like, changed their plan-making habits to do something, like seeing Fred use a rock salt shotgun or something like that, or all that kind of stuff. I'm glad it was a ghost story. That fits very well within the themes of everything, and I just think they did a really good job with it, and while still moving the story forward enough so that way we don't lose any momentum. So I'm really looking forward to what's going to be happening in the future, and they could really, I hope that they do more episodes like this. I don't mean crossing over with anything, but just a very well done and well executed Monster of the Week that sometimes just ties into stuff. I'm like, okay, we don't have to do the complete movement and momentum, but we don't want it to stop either. So, those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.